All right, Steven. So thanks for joining me here. I asked you to come here today because Patrick Thompson of CoinGeek asked me a couple of questions on Twitter, and I thought it would be fun to take them one at a time and respond to them with as much detail as we can possibly give, because this is a really important topic. I want to give it the gravity that it deserves, and it's relating to the article that I wrote about BTC. Do you remember the one?
Yes, and thank you for your invitation.
Yeah,
I
of
do
course.
remember your article about BTC. It was awesome because of the huge quantity of memes that were involved.
Yeah, it had a lot of memes. It was fun. And I wrote it because I think that I've been an influencer in Bitcoin for a long time. And my friends and people who follow me online, they trust what I say. And I've been saying for a long time that people would benefit from using Bitcoin. But lately there's been a change in Bitcoin and what Bitcoin means, and BTC versus BSV and BCH. So I want to clear all this up. And so Patrick asks,
What's BCH? Never heard of it.
yeah, so Patrick asks his first question. Let me close the door.
I'm sitting here watching videos of CoinGeek on our screens at the exchange,
Yeah.
and I like watching Craig.
Yeah,
I like Craig.
I do too. He's fun to watch, he's fun to listen to, and boy, is he brilliant. He has written a lot of interesting articles about. I have one on my computer about rent seeking, and like, what an important topic. Plus, of his knowledge and expertise of Bitcoin, it's unparalleled. Anyway, so the first question from Patrick Thompson is, why did Anypay discontinue BTC support at one point in time?
Oh, we had to. Well, it wasn't ideological or that we were choosing to discontinue BTC on behalf of merchants. It was that we discovered, or someone discovered for us, a vulnerability, which was a flaw in our system, which we didn't understand, because when we first had BTC, this flaw didn't exist, and then it came as an update to the BTC software.
Yeah. So if I can provide some context, this was at a time when Hayden Otto of CoinSpice was going around Australia and showing how he could use BTC to scam the merchants. You know, would buy a cup of coffee, do a replace by fee. The POS said this payment's good, but then he could reverse the fee and walk away with his coffee having paid nothing. And our app, Anypay, is popular in Thailand, so a copycat, Quarantine, went and said, hey, can I do this too to a merchant using BTC at Anypay? And he could. And so he politely sent us the video before publishing it and was like, hey, just so you know, there's this vulnerability. If you use replace by fee using BTC on Anypay, the merchant can get scammed. We said, thanks. We'll discontinue support immediately just so that no one's getting scammed today. And then I think you came up with a pretty quick fix, which detected replace by fee.
Yeah, that's right. And basically, replace by fee means you can cancel a payment, which, as a user of Bitcoin since 2011, I didn't understand, or my understanding was, and what I always told people was, you can't cancel a payment. It's unlike other payment systems. You can't cancel it. Once you sign a transaction, it's done. And that changed. Someone changed the software.
Yeah, that's a feature that I liked. That's something that I would look for in a money. I want a money, like I used silver and gold before Bitcoin was around to trade with people, because I liked when you hand over a chunk of silver to somebody, it's in their hands, they have it, there's no takebacks unless they choose to give it back to you. It's unlike a credit card system where I can scam it, buy a hat, cancel the order, receive the hat. You know, it's like...
I was pretty peeved. I was annoyed.
About replace by fee.
Someone changed the software. My expectation was that the protocol, it doesn't change. That was my expectation, and it did. Or rather, the BTC software changed.
Right.
I don't know about the Bitcoin protocol is probably still the same. So what happened, what we did was we discontinued, and then I added a feature to detect replace by fee.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if this was exactly the right thing, but if someone uses replace by fee, it says
Fraud alert.
Fraud alert.
Yeah.
And instead of a green screen saying you paid, it's a red screen that says fraud alert.
Yeah, and it is fraud.
It seems fraudulent. Though the problem is
you really have to wait for that confirmation.
the problem is a number of BTC wallets implement this feature.
Well-intentioned, I'm
They're
sure.
not trying to be fraudulent.
No.
But they do, and it's no good. I think what we should do with BTC is prevent people from actually spending this kind of transaction.
Yeah.
Which it reduces the number of wallets people can use, and I don't like the feature.
No. Okay, number 2. Why did Anypay bring BTC support back?
Why did we bring it back? Because
the wailing and moaning and gnashing of teeth. That was it. I mean, there was customers who were like, "What? You know, you're not supporting BTC?" And you know, God bless them. They think that they want it and that people want to use it, but they don't realize, truthfully. And I think that I sound arrogant saying, "Oh, I know better than they do." But when they go to spend that money, they're going to be severely disappointed. And I explained this to one of the merchants who owns a pub, and he has tons of inputs from the years of accepting BTC, and the inputs are like $5, you know, for one beer. And when he goes to spend, you know, 100 inputs, all of $5 each, can you imagine what the fee is going to be on that?
I imagine he'll be able to scroll it down, maybe to 30 cents per input or so, which is the median fee, which means he'll spend about $30 whenever he wants to spend that money, those 100 inputs, he might spend $30.
It's not the payment system that it was when he began accepting BTC. And so he's going to be very surprised and disappointed to see that he, as a merchant they have to make a profit. And if they're accepting a money that when they receive it, they don't get as much as they thought they would in purchasing power, you know, they can't replenish their supplies. They're losing money. I mean, it's a real disservice. And as a payment processor, they're trusting us to look out for them. And so I wanted to communicate this to the merchant. And in fact, it was because of these merchants saying like, well, what's this dropping support of BTC, that I even wrote the article at all. So.
Yeah, well, we brought BTC back because we thought, look, in time, it will become obvious, and we want people to have choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who are we to decide what people should accept to use?
We can tell them which is our preferred currency.
Yeah.
But, you know, they want to use whichever prominent fork they want, that's fine.
Yeah. 3. If BTC is not a good vehicle to make payments with, what is it good for?
Ah, yes. BTC is good as an on-ramp. It's a better on-ramp to Bitcoin than bank accounts, basically. Like, people, they want to buy BTC for whatever reason. They have a lot of different reasons. Now, we're involved also in the Bitcoin sale. We sell Bitcoin in one of our subsidiary businesses, Anypay Vending. And people want to buy BTC, and they don't want to buy Bitcoin Cash, and they don't want to buy Bitcoin SV. And that's because they have different information. People who are buying it over the counter generally are less informed than people who are earning Bitcoin, and definitely less informed than people who are involved in developing Bitcoin applications.
Right.
And people building Bitcoin applications obviously understand why Bitcoin SV is better than BTC, but all these people are buying BTC, and so it's good. It's much easier to transform BTC into Bitcoin SV than to try to connect your Wells Fargo account.
I mean, currently, I could envision a scenario where the positive side of BTC is that, yes, it's easier to go into BSV now. But can you imagine if, for example, people were like, oh, these fiat currencies, the governments are printing so much money, I'm going to exit the system of fiat and go into BTC and be in that world. Okay, now I see that BSV is better and I want to go from BTC to BSV. Okay, say you've got tens of millions of people using BTC and they want to transact. They're not going to be able to get their transactions through. So it could be worse than the actual banking system, which can process transactions faster than BTC.
It could be worse. And hey, BTC is also good. So I use it all the time. I paid just yesterday. We're throwing a party. Mm-hmm. It's Bitcoin only, Bitcoin SV, and in order to get in, but we had to pay a lighting company to do this party lighting, and I paid them. They wanted BTC.
Okay.
And fine, I paid the 30-cent fee, and actually I paid about $4 in fee because I wanted to confirm quickly, mm-hmm. and just for peace of mind. So I paid about $4, but it was a transfer mechanism. It's like, because I'm an early user, I can pay lower fees, but it doesn't scale. That doesn't like, if lots of people were using it all the time, there's no way that it would make any sense.
No. 4. What do you think the future of BTC is? And here there are no wrong answers because it's the future. So put on your soothsayer hat and tell us, what do you think is the future of BTC?
There is none.
What do you mean by that?
There's no future of BTC. I mean, okay, what's the future of Litecoin? Whatever that answer is, that's the future of BTC.
Ouch. I can't argue with it.
It probably will have some market value.
Yeah.
And there might be some hashing power involved.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't like it. Okay. I don't think that the future of BTC is Lightning Network. And maybe it just doesn't seem good. It doesn't seem right because people can't use it. Like, it's just like, what's the future of dial-up internet?
That's a good analogy.
There must be people all over the world who are using telephone lines to communicate information over the internet. There must be somewhere. The world's a big place. There's all kinds of people with different levels of sophistication, but I think that the future of BTC is kind of like the future of dial-up internet.
Okay. I was thinking that might be a better analogy. I was thinking of the Yougo, which is a communist-made vehicle that was widely used in communist countries because they had no other options. But it was a terrible vehicle, and as soon as there was competition and a market that opened up that made available better quality vehicles to the people. That's obviously what they chose. And I think there are still some Yougo drivers around. I think there are still some cars that are made. And I would say that's sort of the future of BTC is like a hobbyist record collector. You know, there's like people who do old broken things because they like to.
Okay, yeah. So, but it's just people who like to collect old communist cars because it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Now another question is that they didn't ask is what's the future of the Lightning Network?
Okay.
And maybe the Lightning Network is good, and maybe this concept of payment channels is good, and that concept will exist within a system that can scale to the world.
Okay. Yeah, I think about this a lot about Twetch because one of our colleagues said recently that if Donald Trump joined Twetch tomorrow, it would break because all the likes and retweets and comments. There's too much information that would go on chain too quickly, and it couldn't support it. And I'm like, yeah, that's a real concern. I want it to scale. I want everything to be on chain. But if it weren't possible, perhaps a second layer on top of a scaling blockchain would make sense. I don't know. Does that
Yeah,
make
sure.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
and when Bitcoin is the foundation for an entire large economy in the world, there will be all kinds of layers and all kinds of
Sure.
applications that use it. And if we need payment channels, then we will develop payment channels. But there's no reason to create an artificial limit on the bandwidth. There's no reason to say, oh well, we should stick with dial-up, even though we can, and there are companies who want to provide DSL or they want to provide fiber optic transmission of data. That it doesn't make any sense. And if we still want to develop things like the Lightning Network, payment channels, Liquid, all of this, it's great. But like we were trying to use the Lightning Network app the other day, and it was too expensive to even deposit money and create a channel.
I couldn't even open a channel. It was someone was like, "Oh, you're silly. Use Lightning." Okay, I tried it out. I sent some BTC there. I wanted to fund a wallet with 50 cents, which is a normal thing that you can do with a BSV wallet like Handcash or Simply Cash. You can just send someone a penny. They can send it right back instantly. There's no waiting for confirmation. There's no, oh, that's not enough money. So with the, I think I used Wallet of Satoshi or something like that, Blue Wallet maybe. It was a Lightning wallet, and I went to fund it. And I sent some BTC there, about 50 cents, and it said, okay, waiting, processing. And then later it said, oh, rejected, not enough to open a channel. I was like, well, first of all, you didn't tell me that. I would have sent more. And then second, what's the point of this? Why do I need to lock up 50 cents?
Well, a
channel
is really just a data structure. And the amount of information required to create a channel or to embed this data structure into the blockchain is super low. I mean, it's not that much information at all. It's a very small amount of information. And Bitcoin is about paying for information. Mm-hmm. And I love that the miners are driving down this cost. So the cost of creating a channel in a system like Bitcoin is super low, and it's going lower and lower because it's just a data structure to communicate it peer-to-peer. And in BTC, that cost is going up and up.
Yes.
And so
and oddly, people are proud of that.
Who's going to be able to create these channels? And no one's going to be able to create these channels. I mean, we work with people all over the world. In Thailand, we had a call with people in the Philippines today. Those people aren't going to be able to create channels in the Lightning Network on BSV. I mean, on BTC, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't scale at all. Like if everyone in the Philippines was trying to open a Lightning Network channel on the BTC chain, the fees would go way up. Like it would be like $10, $20, $100. Who knows how much it would cost? Why would they do that? They won't. They're not going to do that. Even like if it comes to a point where Bitcoin SV is so saturated and the miners are unable to process any more information, and people have to resort to second layer things like the Lightning Network. Opening a channel will still be very inexpensive. It will be on the order of a cent probably, or it's so low. I mean, like,
Why? Because it would be a standard transaction?
it will be just because the amount of information required to create what is known as a channel
Okay,
is a very low amount of information.
I see.
All right, so it's kind of like embedding a Twetch.
Uh-huh.
You know, how much does a Twetch cost? Probably
2 cents.
Okay, you pay 2 cents probably because you're paying Twetch Inc.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
that much money.
Good.
And the amount that you're actually paying to the miners is always decreasing, right?
Yeah,
Because
amazingly.
of competition.
Yeah, which is just great.
Because there's no cartel involved. The BTC is basically they arranged a cartel with miners. You can go back and look at the history of the Chinese miners and what they did, arranging a cartel. I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
So, we've been given an opportunity today to respond to questions from CoinGeek about an article that I recently published relating to Anypay's support or lack of support for BTC. Is there anything else within the context of this conversation that you want to include for the edification of the listeners?
You know, we're going to continue. We continue with BTC because people like it, because it has brand recognition, and we will just let the competition occur. We don't want to choose for anyone. But I promote it's okay. The one thing I want people to know is it's impossible for us to develop unique features with BTC. So we added support for on-chain reviews.
Yeah, with
verified
true
reviews with true reviews.
Yeah.
We can't do that with BTC. It's just not possible. And it's definitely, not only is it not possible, if it was possible, it wouldn't be economic. It wouldn't make economic sense. It would be too expensive. Who wants to spend $1 or more when they're leaving a review? No one. People leaving a review want to earn money. And so we're continuing, as we continue on, we're developing more features that are going to be only on BSV and not BTC because of the economics.
Okay. There's more we can say, but I think that we've said enough for this conversation, and we'll leave it there and invite CoinGeek or anyone else to ask us more questions, and we'll be happy to answer them.